Hey there, welcome to my brand new channel, Anime Hime. This is a little bit of a precursor episode, a little bit of a podcast prelude. This is a little bit to talk about who I am, my background with anime, and what you can look forward to expecting with this brand new podcast. Stay tuned. Hey there. Wow, I'm so excited to finally get this off of the ground. I've been looking forward to starting this for so long. I love anime and love talking about it with anyone that I can, and so I wanted to give myself a little bit of a platform to be able to do that a little bit better. Some type of outlet for myself, but really I just wanted to be able to talk in depth about anime and cosplaying and conventions with others as love it as much as I do. I have already said that I love it, so that's why I'm here. And also, maybe you just don't have someone in your life to talk to about anime. Maybe someone directed you to this channel, this podcast, in hopes that you will get into anime and other animes. Regardless, I think you've come to the right place because that is the essence of why I'm here. I'll be your anime loving bestie and we can chat as much as you want. But if you want to chat a little bit more directly, hit me up on Twitter or X, whatever people are calling it these days, at Anime Hime Pod. We'll go into a little bit more as to why I picked that name later on in this little tidbit that I'm releasing for y'all. I'm super active on there, so hit me up and let's chat anime. I'm super nice about it, so it's nothing like snooty or like gatekeeper of me. I didn't make these shows, so I would just love to be able to talk to anyone that I can about the shows at hand, Anyways, this isn't going to be your anime podcast that solely focuses on just the heavy hitters of anime or just shonen types of shows. They're amazing, but we're getting into all the genres over here. We'll focus on some shoujo, some josei, some seinens, some isekai, some slice of life, some dramas, and maybe even some ecchi later on. If you don't know what those words mean, that's okay. That's what I'm here for. We'll get into it a little bit later on as we go on. Excuse me. Don't worry, I got your back. I will talk about lots of the shows that I watch and enjoy, but obviously I'll be touching on the shows that get a lot of mainstream attention, like Demon Slayer, like One Piece, Chainsaw Man, and so on. I mean, they're so good, how can I not? They're probably a lot of people's introductions into anime. Like, for example, my first anime that I ever watched was... okay, I'll give two answers to this. My first ever anime that I watched was Fruits Basket. It was actually the first manga that I read. It was the first type of coming into anime and that whole world that I ever experienced. I read Fruits Basket when I was a little girl in 4th grade, and I guess I haven't really looked back. That's my favorite one. But I will say that the anime that got me back into anime was My Hero Academia. I know, kind of controversial. I think some people just don't like the fan base, and we'll get into that again a little bit later on. But yeah, Anime Hime is what I wanted to make, to be able to talk about all the different types of shows, not just Attack on Titan and Naruto and Dragon Ball. I think we're all a little bit tired of talking about Dragon Ball. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. Don't start hating me right out the gate. Dragon Ball is great and amazing, and it has its place in this world of anime. But there are so many other shows coming out that we really need to allow some type of platform to highlight. And that's what I'm here for, And I also take recommendations, like from my listeners, from my friends, from my followers, from my dad even. My dad's a big weeb. We'll talk about that as well later on. I might even have him come in for an episode or two. Who knows? But yeah, I take recommendations from anyone and anyone and everyone. I'm so sorry you're going to hear a lot of tongue tying in this podcast. It's part of who I am. I'm ADHD and I have autism. So sometimes talking super straight is a little bit of a challenge for me, but hey, I'll get better with time, I promise. That's something that I want to work on as well. So, it's okay. Yeah, I take recommendations. If you want to give me a recommendation, drop it in the comments, drop it in my Instagram DMs, drop it in an @ on Twitter, Anime Hime Pod, Anime Hime Podcast. For all of those, it's really easy to find me, guys. Like, if you want to, you will. So hit me up. Now, a little bit about myself for those who are interested. My name is Sky. That's me. And I've been watching anime for, like I said, a very long time. My backstory, although, isn't as deep as some anime fans out there. Unfortunately, this judges me. I hate to say it, but I was that girl in middle school and high school that was like, oh no, that stuff is weird. I'm kind of going with the flow. That stuff is awkward. I don't like watching that. That's so weird. It's anti-feminist, blah, 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 blah. And, with the few friends that I had, nerdy, geeky topics weren't super popular. So I learned to mask and hide that side of myself. Plus, I was raised in Missouri, so you can imagine the amount of backlash that there was when you tried to branch out and do something different, a little bit different from the herd. Oh, the herd mentality of some of the people in Missouri is astonishingly depressing. I am moving back to Missouri, but not where I'm from. I'm moving to a different part of the state, and I'm going to be with my partner. And so things are going to be a lot better for me. I'm not a kid anymore, obviously. So, getting into the topics that I actually feel a lot of joy for in my life is important and, going to be a lot more prevalent in my life versus hiding behind a facade, acting like I didn't like watching anime. Like, obviously anime is super fun and super enjoyable for literally anyone. You just have to find what you're into, and that's, again, if you want to, you will. So here I am. I really want to. And let's see where I left off. I have a little script here. Not all my episodes are going to be scripted. This is just me trying to get into talking in front of a camera a little bit more, recording myself talking to myself. I'm really out here talking straight to you. And I'm very excited to be doing that. Let's see here. I named this podcast Anime Hime for a reason. Hime is spelled Hime. That is the word in Japanese that translates to princess. And the reason for that being, I consider myself a princess. Just kidding. My middle name is Elizabeth, and my father named all of my siblings' middle names after royalty. So, I'm based off of Queen Elizabeth. My sister's Queen Alexandra. My other sister's Queen Victoria. My brother, he's something for some reason, and I should probably know that, but I don't. But overall, I think that was pretty cute of him, and it was the perfect way for me to also name this podcast Anime Hime Podcast. I thought it had a nice ring to it, and it also kind of rhymes, anime, hime. So, I liked it, and I hope you do too. But now for a little bit more on the concept of this podcast and what I'm going to be talking about, and what the hell I'll be posting in general. So right now, I'm in the beginning stages of moving with my partner, and I also work full time. I know, gag. I hate working so much. So for the time being, my goal right now is about 1 episode a week until I move. I'm moving in about 2 months, moving by mid-May. So then I'll be able to work on producing more episodes each week. Wow. I am not sure at the moment how long they're going to be. Probably around 45 to 60 minutes. And that could also change again, because I don't know. The content that I'll be creating is basically going to be off of the seasonal anime that I am watching. So if I don't watch a whole lot this season, I'll talk a little bit more about shows that I've watched in the past and reviewing and rating more of those. If there's a lot of shows that I really love this season that are all coming out on the same day, maybe one of the episodes each week will be a little bit longer. Then later on, the other 2 later in that week might be a little bit shorter. In those episodes, I'll supplement them a little bit more by talking about shows that I've watched in the past. So it's kind of like a give and take. It'll all balance out to hopefully be about 45 to 60 minutes each. In each episode, I'll talk about the last 2 to 3 days of seasonal anime episode releases. Plus, like I said, I'll review and rate an anime I've previously finished, for better or for worse. If they were good, it'll be a glowing review, and hopefully you guys can get into it as well, and we can have a great conversation about it. Maybe one day I'll start a Discord and we can just talk about all the anime that I talk about, and that would just be so fun. I would love to be able to have a little community of people talking about anime with me, and that's what I'm here for. I don't have a whole lot of people to talk about anime with in my life. My partner likes anime. He watches a few of the ones that I'm into. But then again, it's like the shonen mainstream super popular ones like My Hero, Attack on Titan. He's kind of getting into Demon Slayer. We loved Death Note. He loved Death Note so much. And if you don't like Death Note, you're as crazy as like Alchemy. But yeah, I mean, last 2 to 3 days of anime episode releases, I'll talk about on my show, and I'll review some of my favorites, or not even my favorites, just ones that I've finished in the past. I'll be candid and thoughtful. So for all of you out there watching, comment some anime that you'd like for me to review and rate here on the podcast. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm really going to get into today, because again, this is just a little precursor episode, something to give you a little bit of a taste of what's to come. And my name is Sky. I am the creator of Anime Hime, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you follow up more and hit me up on all of my socials at Anime Hime Podcast. Thank you. Have a great time. Peace out.